Hey, I'm Rock Santos with Blueseventy here today to show you how to put on my Nero Comp swimsuit. What I typically like to do and what I typically tell people is to go to our website, www.blueseventy.com, and check out our sizing chart. What I often tell people is look at your height and weight, and if you're between height and weight on the sizing chart, I typically say go up. Why go up? Because that compression is going to be good in both sizes, but the material will last longer, especially if you're not really trying to force that suit up your body. And you'll see that today when I put on my size 28 Blueseventy Nero Comp suit, that it really doesn't take me that long, and if it takes you a really long time, it's probably not the right size for you. The first thing I like to do is make sure that my suit is lined up perfectly on the body, and the one thing that I notice on the Blueseventy is that there's these two cross lines in front that will go over my thighs. So I want to make sure that when I put my foot there, that I line it up right, otherwise the suit kind of twists around and that's a big mess. So the first thing I like to do is kind of crumple it up and point my toes and kind of just get through it there. Yes. And then I pull it up. And what I like to do is I like to typically pull it up higher than normal above my ankle, because I can always move back down later. Again, I want to make sure that that little stitching that's going to go across my leg, I put my foot in the right way, so when I roll it up a little bit, I roll it up the right way. Again, it is a pain to then take the suit back off and go off when the suit is twisted around your body. So we want to make sure that we get it right the first time. And then I point my toe. Excellent. And I can see that there's a seam line, which I know is the outside seam, so I do that correctly. And I kind of just cinch it up there, and I get it to that there. The next thing I do is I have this bunch of material. What I like to do is just kind of take some of it and move it up a little bit so I can see where I am. And then now I have this material. What I want to do is make sure I don't use my fingernails to do it, but try to use my fingertips as much as I can to pull the material together. I don't want to pull from way up here. I typically like to pull where the lines are. You can see I kind of try to move those lines, and I also want to make sure I move the back. And I move it up. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then I'm moving it up here. You can see I'm kind of moving up all that material up together. I use the back of my hands and my butt kind of pulled up this way here, and I often try to do that even in front. Anytime I can get my hands on the inside where there's less chance of tearing that real sensitive Blueseventy material, that's the best. And I really try to get it up and over my pants here, so it's real good. It's high on my crotch. Now again, you don't want to be like those high school boys that wear their pants down here, because then what happens when you bend over, there's a lot of stress in your back. So you want to make sure that you bring the suit way up high on the crotch, both in the back and in the front. And you can see up here, there's still lots of lines. So what I do is I try to move some up, and I get around there, and there's too much here, so then what I do is I kind of just move it back down a little bit, and I kind of do the same thing here. So then once I'm done with that part, then what I like to do is kind of, again, as a whole unit, kind of move it around, up, up, up. Okay, so then when we get up top here, I like to move it up nice and good. And then what I do is I don't like to pull the neckline real far apart when I put it on. I like to be real nice to that sew line there. And I kind of just try to, as gently as possible, put it on, cinch it up, put it on, cinch it up. And then what I like to do, because we're a wetsuit company, what we were taught there is that you bend over, then you can grab some material here. So I'm grabbing it here. And again, I try to cinch it up a little bit, so I'm nice and high and it's real comfortable on my swimsuit. And then what I do is I get a nice good friend to come over and help me. What I typically have people do is I like to, when you zip it up, grab the bottom of the suit and then kind of pull up. And then what I do is I bring my legs together, or my shoulder blades together, so it's easier. And then the next thing I want to do is make sure my arms can move around nice and good. And then it feels pretty good. So there you are. We got the Blueseventy on dry before we race. It's nice and tight fit. Good, doesn't pull up too high on the shoulders. And now the next part of getting fitted with your Blueseventy is you don't want to dive into the water dry. Because when you dive in the water dry, there's these natural air pockets. It's uncomfortable and kind of a weird feeling if you swim with these air pockets or bubbles as you swim. So what we like to do is put the suit on dry, and then let me jump in the water here. Okay, now we're almost ready to race because I got the suit wet. And what I like about getting the suit wet is now I can take the suit and it's going to start to suck to my body. And I want to have that because I don't want to get rid of all those air pockets and any disturbance or water getting into my suit. So once the Blueseventy suit's wet, it actually starts to suck to your body, which is what I want, so now it fits even better. So now when I jump on the blocks in a race, there won't be any air pockets. And maybe I want to swim a little bit, because if there's some air pockets, I may want to move the suit around to make sure it fits just right. So that's how we put on the Blueseventy from Blueseventy. I'm Rock Santos.